my year, yeah.
Is this thing on? Hello? Yes. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the morning show. It's the best morning show in finance. Spencer Israel, JC Parets, Steve Strazza. We're fired up today. I don't know, because it's Thursday or just because we get to do this. It's exciting. We got a lot going on the show today. We got Micron. We got Warren Buffett buying more Oxy. We'll talk about that. Cruise lines are on our mind as well. They've been on our minds for a few weeks as they keep on ripping. We'll take questions from the chat. We'll be joined by Kimmy Sokoloff, Sean McLaughlin, and at 9 o'clock, featured guest today, Scott Redler. He of the Red Dog Reversal from T3. He'll be on the show in about a half hour from now. Very excited for that. What's up, chat? I see you, John, Nikki, PJ, Christian, Jimmy, Kenneth, Joe, RGB, JMZ, Dan. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get this show on the road.
Good morning. Can I just talk about how it feels when you wake up in the morning and you look at the hot corner and you see that Uncle Warren has been buying the stock that you and your friends have been selling puts on?
I was just saying to you, it feels great. Like between me and Warren Buffett, we bought more than $120 million worth of stock yesterday.
Should I feel bad that I chose Chevron instead of Oxy, or Uncle Warren's in Chevron and Oxy, and if one's going to work, the other one's going to work, so we're all one big happy family?
I think more the latter, but I told you Oxy was the vehicle. Why not buy the one that Buffett's buying at support? I don't know. For me, like, it's as simple as that.
Because I thought that the relative strength that we've seen in Chevron more recently, making higher lows while Oxy's making lower lows, it was just cleaner. It was just cleaner. But like I said, are we splitting hairs here? If one works, the other one's probably going to work too, right? So we're all in this together. You guys are in the Oxy, you and Sean and Warren Buffett, and then me and Uncle Warren are in the Chevron. You guys are not. Actually, Sean's got some Chevron too.
It's funny, JC, because earlier this week, I was not giving you a hard time about it, but I didn't love it. And I think it was really our analyst call yesterday, because Sean made the point, like, the best trades, the trades that have been working, at least in his options portfolio, have been buying losers at support and betting on some mean reversion or, selling premium at certain levels, certain support levels. And those have been the trades. And I was thinking more and more, I was like, why not bet on some catch up here?
Small caps, Caterpillar, right? Yeah. Dipping our toe in some of these like PayPal and things like that. At least Amen is still waiting for that to work out. But that's been the trade, and we continue to do that. So why don't we hit the state of the markets there, Mr. Spencer?
JC's got that big coffee energy this morning.
Big energy. I'm playing tennis today.
Playing tennis. I'm pressing the button.
Press it.
Pew.
I'm pretty stoked for my tennis, not gonna lie. Can we show the equally weighted? We looked at it yesterday, but I want to look at the an updated version of the equally weighted sector performance going back to the market bottom last June when the new 52-week lows list peaked. And what do we see? What do we see there, Mr. Strazza? We see the consumer discretionary space continuing to be the leader, and there at a close number 2 is industrials. I'm told that industrials are economically sensitive there, Mr. Strazza. Do you buy that bullshit? Or are they, in fact, economically sensitive?
I mean, financials are too, right? Down at the bottom of the list.
Yep.
Yeah. A nice diversity of risk-on groups working up top there.
Consumer discretionary, number 1. Industrials, number 2. Technology, contrary to popular belief, is number 3. And healthcare, number 4. These are the 4 most... Are these the four most important sectors in America? Certainly by weighting, right? Consumer discretionary, industrials, maybe not by weighting, but
the only other one that would need consideration, yes,
is financials. It's the one missing. 4 out of 5 ain't bad though, huh?
No.
45 ain't bad. All
Yeah.
right.
It doesn't feel like healthcare stocks have been that good.
It depends which healthcare stocks, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Also, you can say the same thing about industrials. 3M doesn't look great, but others do. Look at the industrial sector pushing up against new 52-week highs as we speak. This is the cap-weighted industrials making new 52-week highs. What's there not to like? I want to continue to press this trade. Great example. When you look at it, last month's lows. This is you said it yesterday, Strazza. I forget what stock you were talking about or what sector you were talking about, but you were like, "Is this not the best? Not a top formation, right?" What were you referring to there?
I think I was talking about Oxy.
There you go. Okay, fine. Yeah, fair. So industrials, you can argue 5 weeks ago or so, you can argue this was a topping formation, and the bet was that this is a classic, not a top formation, and all of a sudden we just absolutely started ripping from there. Go to the next chart showing Caterpillar. Caterpillar was the vehicle that we chose to express this thesis. Was it the cleanest chart? No. Was it the nicest chart out there? No. It was simply a vehicle to express bullish rotation into an underperforming sector, at least underperformer this year, outperformer bigger picture, underperformer this year. Caterpillar was just a great way to express that. That trade is certainly working out very, very well. So now move on to what I think can be the next rotation. And it's essentially what Strazza and I have been discussing here. And what we're seeing is energy. Nobody's talking about it, and nobody likes it. People are disgusted by this group, and I like it. I like that, Mr. Strazza. I like it. Those are the 2018 highs. Finding support. First thing that they got to do before they can start to go up is to stop going down. And crude oil stopped going down a while ago. It hasn't been going up. It hasn't been going down. I like Chevron. Throw the Chevron chart. I like it. I'm in. This one was a darling, All-Star Chart's darling when we broke out to new all-time highs early last year. Our first target was hit, has consolidated very nicely. And now zoom in there, Fonz, on the next chart there. So you can see sort of what's going on. That 150 level's the one for me. So I think you got a lot of options here, pun intended. You can own the common if you'd like against 150. Where are we? Where did we close yesterday? We closed at 155 essentially. So 150 is a good level for me. About 2-3% from current prices. That's where I like it. I bought I don't want to give you the wrong numbers here. I own January calls. I own the January 170 calls. January 170 calls. And it is double the position that I normally like to be putting on. So I would say that I am very aggressively long energy stocks, betting for that rotation. This is a theme that we've been talking about that has been rewarding us as investors for betting on this rotation, small caps, industrials. And now we are betting, at least I am, I guess we all are, betting on that rotation into energy. If you can, did I bring along the Oxy chart? I did not bring along the Oxy chart. But we can.
You don't need it.
We don't need it. We don't need the Oxy chart. Well, we'll save it. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk
We're going to talk all about what Uncle Warren has been up to behind the scenes. But I do want to talk about quickly the DraftKings trade. It's a trade that Strazza has been in. Yesterday in our meeting, we're kind of debating which was the better trade. Should we be selling puts on Oxy? Should we be, I like buying the call options on Chevron, maybe sell some puts also on Chevron. I was kind of more on the energy side, kind of betting on that rotation. And Sean was more like, sticking with the leaders. Sean liked the DraftKings trade. I am not convinced on the DraftKings trade just yet. I would rather pay more and see a breakout. Strazza's already in, so he's kind of just like, bored.
I'm so in.
You've been in, and it's working for you. For me, I am not. I'm looking for a breakout. Haven't seen that breakout yet. I feel like I'd rather pay more, knowing that it's resolving higher. It's up 2% pre-market. Is this the breakout? Maybe it is.
Well, that's what happened. We jumped it a little bit yesterday, and it looks like it'll be okay here today.
All right,
we'll see.
How do you feel about my state of the markets?
Are you done? I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'm good.
Done. So no, I think you're right. You're talking a lot about, going back to the well and buying support in some of the, I didn't want to call them laggards, but they're underperformers, right? Whether it's energy or some of these other stocks that we're buying at support. I think you got to be careful with vehicles, though. I don't like XLI. You want to go kind of beneath the surface there in industrials. There's so many strong names that look like some of the best tech
Down
stocks
the
in the
cap
market.
scale.
Yeah, move down the cap. There's so much going on in industrials that's working. I don't think XLI is the best vehicle. It's top heavy with a lot of these, blue chip names that might not be the strongest ones in the group. Also, similar to DraftKings, let's do slide 29 here. I can't put anything in still. My computer's about to blow up, JC. I just dropped it in the chat. I bought 10x Therapeutics more yesterday.
TXG.
I'm in some calls now. Look at how tight this one is. Here.
This is an industrial.
No. Genomics.
This is healthcare. Healthcare information services, Genomics. Strazza loves his Genomics. This is the TXG. I mean, this is tight, man. This is really tight.
Tight, coming off support. If you were to zoom in on a daily, like you would see a little nice retest here in the past few days. So I think, this base holds and we can move a lot higher from here. The option's very illiquid, but they're cheap. Like I'm in 65s going out about 2 months. I didn't pay much more than $1.50.
I mean, I think you're going to be 15, 20 points in the money there. I mean, I think this thing's got 80 something written all over it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
And then what's the risk? Where are you wrong on this? Maybe 53?
Just above 50 here.
Yeah. So you're thinking all the way down to those April lows near 50, not a tighter stop near 52.5. You think you let it dance to 50?
You could use 54, right? Which is like pivot highs from early on in 2022. But I think you're saying give to the lower bounds of this little coil here around 50, 51, right? Yeah, 50. Sure. Listen, where I'm out on the calls, probably nowhere. The common, like you said, it'd probably be this 50 level.
One of the things I like about call options, which you just alluded to, is the built-in risk management, right? You're a limited partner. You can't lose more than what you put in.
Yep.
So you already have that inherent risk management already built in. I really like how Sean kind of adds an additional layer of risk management, kind of sets a specific price. I don't always kind of abide by that. Sometimes I just like to let it dance. I've already written it off, right? You cut the check, you send it out, you own the calls, it's already gone in my eyes. Sometimes, however, if it's really well defined, I like Sean's strategy of adding an additional layer of risk management. In situations like that, you can maybe increase your position some, because it's not gonna go all the way to zero. There's a few different ways to take advantage of it. In this particular case, I don't know. I guess in the common, it's much better defined. In the case of the options, maybe because they're less liquid, maybe you give it a little more room to dance. If it was a more liquid options market, maybe you could be a little tighter, right?
These would be a nightmare to get out of. So for me, they were 150 for these calls. That's it. That's how much I'm risking.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
All right, Spencer. What do you got? What's anything good this morning?
Come tell us about these stress tests.
Are they stressed finally? Did they resolve?
We'll do the stress test after the one earnings we have to discuss. So
one earnings. Anything good?
I mean, you like Micron?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll do some Micron. Earnings per share came in above estimates. It was actually a loss of $1.43, but hey, they beat the estimate on that. Sales $3.75 versus a $3.65 billion estimate, so they beat both the top and the bottom line in their report. They gave some guidance for the current quarter, which actually EPS was a little bit light, and the revenue was in line with the estimate there. Anyway, the stock is up this morning. I guess that chip shortage is no longer a shortage because everyone seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, that 65 is the big one, huh? If we're above that, you own it. Is that simple?
Dude, what a gift you got in this stock. last week.
A retest.
A lot of setups like that right now. Right back to the base breakout level textbook. I was talking to the team about this one yesterday. Couldn't ask for much more, right? If you missed the initial breakout here.
And it's a good space too. You know, on Twitter, you're seeing a lot of people being like, if you own Nvidia or you own semiconductors, you're being irresponsible and you have no idea how to manage risk, and you know, you deserve to lose everything. Like, this is what I'm seeing. Like, people are very, very angry. So
it's a great chart.
Yeah, I like that. The fact that people are so angry about semiconductors going up probably means they're going to keep going up, right? That's the pain trade. I like it.
JC, Spencer didn't get my humor, but you're spot on. I sent it to you guys last night in one of the chats. They're running a special over here on TV about how semiconductors are under pressure. I got to listen to this at 7:30 at night.
Stop it.
Yeah, because of the China stuff, semiconductor stocks are under pressure. They had a special on last night. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. And I was talking to Alfonso about it yesterday. He was saying, well, they have earnings. And it was like, at a certain point, if, 90 semiconductor stocks of the 100 that I've reported have beat earnings, you kind of know what direction you can err in for the earnings report, right? It's kind of nice for these companies that report way at the end of the reporting period, because like you get to see all the results from their industry group. I was actually also thinking, got to talk to Rob about this. We need to aggregate the earnings data in real time by sector and industry group so we can see the percentage of components that are beating in each group and sector.
I don't really give a shit whether they're beating or not. I want to know how the stock's reacting.
I 100% give a shit.
I don't.
I would have loved to see that data.
Doesn't matter to me at all. In fact, I'd rather not know.
You want to talk about AI?
Yeah. Why don't you throw in the venture capital VC deals for generative AI by quarter? Hello.
This is a sell signal if I've ever seen one.
Why? It's a sell signal because a lot of money is being invested in a group of companies. That's a sell signal. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Oh, come on. Shiny object, VCs. This is just the latest one.
You think it's a negative that there's a lot of money being invested? That's a negative to you?
Come on. Venture capital deals? That's what we're talking about now? I mean,
we're just talking about Micron earnings. So yeah, doesn't this all fit into the same semiconductor AI theme? Are we not like, no? Am I coming from left field here?
I don't know.
It might be a negative for some startup companies in a few years who took money on bad terms, like we saw the past few years, right?
I guess it's generally a net positive that money is flowing from VCs.
You think?
But
yeah,
generally a net positive that money's flowing into a sector. Are you kidding me?
Well,
of course it's a good thing.
We needed something like this, right? Because the deal space has been dead for a while now, right? No IPOs, right. Not much going on in private markets. So it's good to see some money moving around back there.
And by the way, is this surprising? No. Is this surprising? Are you either one of you surprised that a ton of VC money is going into AI companies?
No. That chart's going to
look. So it's not a surprise. And it's not bearish. How bullish is it? I don't know, but I wouldn't be like, oh, VCs are investing, short everything. Like, no.
Okay. That was all I had for earnings. It's a quiet week. There was a few others, but I didn't care enough to discuss them, like McCormick, which is like I think they announced a new CEO.
I love McCormick. It's a great stock. Can we talk about it?
Talking about great stock.
We don't have the chart handy because I don't care. It's a spice company, so who really cares? But
you got a base here.
I do not care about spice companies. What is your beef with spice companies?
It doesn't interest me, man. Salt and pepper. You know what I mean? I mean,
it's not just salt and pepper.
All right.
Like Frank's Red Hot and a bunch of stuff.
Oh, they do? I didn't know.
These got 25 billion. Give me a break. This is a real company, man.
Yeah.
Big staple. I can't hear anything this guy's saying.
What is the ticker?
MKC. Not to be confused with MCK McKesson.
I know. I always get them confused.
Me too.
Yeah. It's like a thing, you know?
I know.
You know they fought for that ticker.
Like when I enter DB and I get butter futures, I hate it when that happens. You know, I'm trying to get the Deutsche Bank chart. I get butter futures. It's so annoying. You know?
Well, it's really hard to get the Credit Suisse chart these days.
Stop it. Okay, look at MKC. I just put it in slide 1 there. MKC Spencer's got real problems.
I'm getting a lot of hate in the chat for my.
You are such a hater, bro. Hater. They got all kinds of stuff. It's not just salt and pepper.
They're the best spices.
All right.
Like you got
such a hater.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Frank's Red Hot, Frenchie's Onions, crispy onions. How about that? Cholula. They own Cholula. Cholula is a classic breakfast hot sauce. Is Cholula.
Best. That's breakfast.
Oh, you know what? Okay, Jason's right. The Montreal steak seasoning is freaking ridiculous. So yes.
You think? I don't think it's that good.
I think it's fantastic. So
what is it?
Montreal steak seasoning. I've been eating that.
Okay,
for
so now you went from telling me how much you hate
I didn't know they own Montreal steak seasoning.
Now you're telling me which spices are the ones I need to be using. Funny how the tables have turned now, Spencer.
Yeah.
Secular leader. A lot to like about this stock.
What do you like about it? The fact that it's in just a gross range.
No, actually, if you zoom in, sir, you can define your risk right here at the August highs around 93. And this base looks like it's ready to go.
If my calculations are correct, we are below 93.
Yes, we
are. By
are.
definition, making it a hot mess. Am I wrong?
For maybe 2 points from now, that changes.
Okay. Well, wake me up when that happens. I'm with Spencer on this one. I don't like it.
How the turntables. All right. Let's go to what's moving here. Let's go to what's moving before we go to our guest in a couple of minutes. We got a couple things on the list today.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, a scenario where there is a severe global recession with a 40% decline in commercial real estate prices, a substantial increase in office vacancies,
I see what you're
doing. 38% decline in housing prices, and the unemployment rate goes up to 10%. How would the big banks fare in this environment? Well, the Fed says they would be okay. That was the conclusion of yesterday's Federal Reserve stress test. All the big banks that were tested, which is, as we know, the biggest banks, not every bank in the country, obviously.
So everybody passed.
Everybody passed. 24. There we go.
Well, the banks are not stressed after all.
23 for 23 is what we were.
They only tested 23 banks?
Yeah.
I hate to say you heard it here yesterday. It's not a thing anymore. They don't fail.
This is stupid.
They don't fail. So maybe Credit Suisse would have failed.
Why do you keep hating on Credit Suisse? It's already dead. You're like, Jesus.
The only reason I'm interested in this is because we talked about this yesterday, and we said it, and look at what the stocks all did after hours, right? They all popped, every one of them. Well, every bank stock went up yesterday after the close. So,
not much.
Yeah, but they're up, and they're going to go up again when they announce new dividends and buybacks like today or tomorrow. So, just saying.
Yeah, this is dumb.
Spencer, how bullish banks are you? How many of these banks do you own with your Disney stock?
I mean, I'm diversified, so sure, I own some banks, right?
What banks do you own, Spencer?
I don't own any individual banks, if that's what you're asking, right? But I do have bank exposure. I would certainly.
I own one bank.
Berkshire.
I own Berkshire. Are we calling that a bank? Then yes.
No, I own HSBC.
I never got in that.
You never got in that? Well, you're not missing much. It's just sitting there. You're all right. You can still get in probably for the same price. It hasn't broken out yet. It's just hanging out.
European financials were making fresh lows as we were getting into that.
And HSBC was not. It was making new 52-week highs because banking crisis and all that. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine these shitheads telling everybody that we're in a banking crisis? Stocks are making new 52-week highs. Can you imagine? And speaking of dumb people, I have something to say. If you think, and there are still people who think that there are only 7 stocks that are going up. By the way, 3 months ago, if you were saying that only 7 stocks are going up, you are in the category of the dumbest humans on the planet. You are dumb. You deserve to lose money. You are just dumb. If you think only 7 stocks are going up, you need to check yourself into a mental institution. You are just dumb. I'm sorry. I try to be nice, but this is stupid. 7 stocks going up. Stop it. Stop. Okay.
All right. But yes, you're right. That was aggressive. I told you it's that big coffee
So,
energy.
I don't know where that came
I
from.
like
but yeah,
so
all right.
dumb.
I like it. Yeah, where did that come
I
from?
don't know.
Anyway, I don't know how to segue from here. JC, you being Cuban descent, HSBC, it's not owned by China, guys.
And what if it was? What does me being Cuban have anything to do with buying HSBC or shorting it?
But I will say, nice treat here today. How about that, right? Girlfriend brought me home the Dunkin'. I can't do the Cuban coffee anymore.
Too much?
Like I went hard into the Cuban coffee when I first moved here. I loved it. I've stepped away from it. It's just a really aggressive move for that early in the morning.
It's a lot.
Like heavy.
It's a lot. It's a
So-
lot. My father was over last night for dinner, and he was telling me the exact same thing, actually.
It'll tear your
See
stomach
how
up.
I
I think
told
it's unusual.
you today that you have like old man in you? This is a good example.
Yeah, you
like
need to like grow up
He's
with
like
that.
a young
or-
man, but with like an old man mind, you know?
I'm good with the Dunkin'. So I was packing today, and I'm a really bad packer. So like what my move typically is, let me know if you can relate to this. If I'm going to Miami for a weekend, I'll just pack everything. Like I'll just take a drawer and put it in a suitcase and then decide what I'm going to wear when I'm there. Like I don't need to worry about that when I'm
Remember,
packing.
I was just talking about how dumb people are who thought only 5 stocks were. This is dumb.
Wait, I'm also I hate packing, Strazza. I'm with you.
I'm not the only one who does this. I know that.
See, here's the move.
Right?
See, here's the move. My wife packs for me, and then she complains the whole time about how she needs to pack for me. And I'm like, well, I didn't pack because you had already done it. So it would be silly for me to pack also. So just because my wife can't sit still and she's got to pack for me means that I never have to pack. And then she blames me for it.
So that's the other thing, right? I usually have help, right? But this is like kind of my own trip. I'm doing my own thing. I got to do this myself. The tough decision for me has been I can't just take everything like I normally do.
Yeah.
We have to pack really light. It's going to be a huge pain in the neck if I'm lugging around like big suitcases and stuff, right? So I'm literally consciously being aware of, the first time in a really long time, what are my favorite clothes? If I could only have one pair, what do I want? What do I get? I got to tell you, these joggers, these bird dogs, they're just incredible.
Should I buy
So
some?
freaked out.
It's a little too
Here
tight for me.
here we
I
go
got
with
big
the
Cuban
joggers.
booty. I got the Cuban booty.
It-
Arroz con
It might be.
frijoles.
You're big. And I'm a large in them. So you would have to be like an XL. But anyway, I panicked last night. I went onto their website and I bought like 3 more pairs of pants. And they just give you like something free every time you buy something new. And then you go to the checkout and it's like 1 more pair and you get a hat. 1 more pair.
How
get
much did you
golf
spend?
balls. $340 with the shipping.
$340 on these bird dog pants?
I paid for overnight shipping.
Sounds
Well,
like
I
someone got
got
hustled.
It's a lot of pants, man.
shorts, bathing suit, and 2 pairs of pants.
All right.
And
All right.
dude, they threw in a tumbler, a hat, and a t-shirt. Come on now.
All
Wait,
right. Can we bring in Redler and talk about
Yeah,
something important?
yeah. I just want to say, last weekend I was in Minneapolis and I was at the Mall of America and we're walking around and I'm just walking around LL Bean and I just realized, holy shit, I forgot to pack a dress shirt. I had a wedding, right? I had my suit, forgot to pack my dress
Right.
shirt. What the hell? Run to Macy's, and I'm walking around and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't bring a tie either. So, so I had to buy a dress shirt and a tie like hours beforehand. It was fine.
The
But,
fact that Macy's
it's-
still has stores is ridiculous. What kind of communist
You know-
shit is that? Just put them out of business.
It's easy for JC to sit here and call us idiots for being bad at packing. He doesn't pack. So you don't
First of
know.
all, I didn't say you guys are idiots. I said you stuffing your suitcase with everything you could find is dumb.
I just take the drawer and I put it in my
Right?
trunk.
That's dumb.
I had I have a soft spot for Macy's. Scott's going to be on it in a minute. I have a soft spot for Macy's. I worked there once upon a time. way
Market
back-
zero, Smokey. Market zero. It's a zero. Let it go away. Just stop with this Macy's nonsense. Go away. You're
I don't
done.
know.
You go to some of these department stores and there's like 100 people in there shopping and then like 2 people working.
Ugh.
And you look at the checkout line and just walk out
It's
of the
bad
store.
for America to keep these shitty companies alive. Put them out of business. Move
Well,
on.
so
Yeah,
here's-
against Macy's.
So a big problem with that, JC, there's actually a real reason. They're the anchor retailers or the anchor tenants in these big shopping malls and
The
shopping
malls
centers.
need to go
What
to.
happens-
Get everybody out of there. Turn them into
There's a
paintball.
big domino effect.
fields.
When you take the Sears or you take the Target, you take the big box store out, then everything kind of crumbles around
Good.
it. Yeah,
Good.
but that's how malls become like empty, like ghost
There
towns.
already are. We need to move on as a society. Stop with this Macy's and mall bullshit. Shop online like a normal person.
Turn them in.
This is the issue. This is the commercial real estate issue. In large part.
Ridiculous. Market zero, Smokey.
Multifamily housing is the answer. But
all right, bring in Redler. I want to hear what Redler has to say.
He'll be on
WWF of finance.
I like Redler will be on in 1 second. He's just
running 8-day and 21-day moving averages. I want to know about his moving averages. He loves it.
We're talking about red dog reversals.
We are.
Red dog reversals. Great. I love a good red dog reversal.
All right, let's do it. Scott Redler.
Bring him. Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Red Dog.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
It's been a while. How's it going?
It's too long. We got to get some adult beverages in the city soon. Remember we used to do that in the old days, remember?
So let's continue. Where are you at now? You're close by.
Back on the East Coast. I'm about an hour west of Manhattan, so I'm local. You know, when I was in California for 5 years, it was tough getting back, but now it's easy. So I'm in the city quite a bit.
You did learn how to find a nice wine, right? Didn't you become like an expert? What's that called again?
Something like that. I'm a certified sommelier.
Sommelier. That sounds really good. Very fancy.
It does. It sounds good. Yeah. It just means that I can, as my wife likes to say, I think you just like taking tests. Shout out. Two shout outs to my wife so far in the show.
Wow.
Red Dog. So before we get into the markets, you know, one of the things that you do a great job of, you're very disciplined, you know, with your rules and your process. You're very consistent in that respect. So I have a lot of respect for that. I really appreciated that from you over many, many years. And the Red Dog reversal, one of my favorites. You know,
yes.
Call it we call it something. We call it more of a whipsaw. You know, Brian Shannon's always like, from failed moves come fast moves. You know, yours is sort of like incorporating all of those things with a key reversal day, key reversal calendar, candle, and then when you get that follow through the next day, you buy it, you go nuts. It's a trade that I've been putting on for many, many years. You actually gave it a name. Before we get into current markets,
well, JC, you know I'm very narcissistic, so I had to name it after myself. Just
no doubt.
When I first started learning about technical analysis, not even 10 years ago now, I was watching JC's videos, I was watching Brian's videos, there are other traders on YouTube, but also Scott's videos all the time. The 8-day, the 21-day, short-term price action, you know, real like tape reading stuff. And the Red Dog reversal always stood out to me. Really love that. So let's start there.
Because the risk is very well defined, and the potential reward is exponentially greater than that. Love it.
Listen, it's a way to define your risk where you're not trying to catch a falling knife. You're not trying to pick a top. You know where the battleground is, which is usually the prior low. It's always good after multiple down days or multiple up days. So you could catch the other side off guard, get a really fast trade, because usually after a bunch of down days, there's still people short. And basically they think we're going lower. Then you have the bottom feeders come in, and then shorts get squeezed. You get a good price, you make some good money, and then sometimes it turns into a multi-day sequence where you can turn it into a swing. So it gives the best of both worlds, an actionable trade for those that like to net money, and then sometimes a swing trade for those who try and massage an active sequence using a tier system if it starts one.
Are you specifically looking at daily candles for your Red Dog reversal, or can they happen intraday?
They can happen intraday, but I typically look for daily candles because they mean more. But you do see it during the day. A lot of active traders, yes, day traders, they use 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, 30, 60-minute charts, depending on where we are in the course of the day. But when I do my morning work, when I'm up at 4:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to come up with my plan A, B, and C for the day, it usually, you know, that strategy is based off of daily charts. Sometimes you could look back, you know, on weekly charts and monthly charts, like, holy cow, look at that huge Red Dog reversal right into that spot, and look what it led to. Sometimes you don't know exactly what it's going to lead to. You have to let the sequence develop and massage it. But knowing where the battleground is and then having a plan on how to adjust around it is 3/4 of the bottle. Here's my bottle, by the way. We could have our green drinks in the morning, JC, by the way. At night, we could have adult beverage. In the morning, we go green drink. We go ginger shot. This is breakfast of champions. But anyway,
I've been doing the ginger with turmeric and sometimes cayenne in there, right?
Yeah. So usually we
Nice.
try and figure out how the day is going to be by how many shoulder shrugs I get with the shot. If I could do it with one shoulder shrug, it's going to be a good day. If I don't do any shoulder shrugs, that's full self-control. If I do 2 or 3, that means the gods are telling me
Are
something.
you going to rip it now?
Cheers to you guys. Here we go.
Straight to the dome.
Oh.
Oh, man. This guy is wild. This is a wild man right there.
Beast. I wish you told me. I would have brought one and cheers with you.
We'll go with the green drink next time.
Jeez,
We'll do it one of those Dr. Peppers with a ginger shot in one of the beers when we have a happy hour.
Yeah, I'll meet you for some whiskey. You can keep the ginger. Let me
wait.
hold on. I got a question. Hold on.
That means maybe we have a hot GDP. We have a hot GDP this morning, so ginger shot's telling me my eyes are tearing.
Dude, I can't spell GDP. Can you talk to me about the, how you frame sort of the structure of the market and you identify trends using an 8 and 21 day? Can you walk through that process? Because I really, really like that a lot.
Well, if you remember, I don't know, it might have been 2 weeks ago, finally the media admitted to the fact that this is a bull market, which you've been talking about, JC, for, you've been saying we're in a bull market for 9 months or a year.
Yeah, because I can count.
But to me, I look at the market. I'm not as comprehensive as you are. You really, get into the nuts and bolts of everything. I'm more of a cotton napkin technician. I just look for really where the relative strength is.
I put you in more than a cocktail napkin technician there, Mr. Rattler. You give yourself a little more credit.
All right. Well, our cash and the best of the best. That's all he calls himself. So
also more than a cocktail technician, for the record. But yes,
he's the man. I learned a lot from Art. Besides marinating ice cubes. So I always look at the S&P. The S&P to me is the backbone of the market. Obviously, and lately everyone's been complaining about how 6, 7, 8 stocks, made the market look better than it was. But as traders, at least we could be in those 6, 7 stocks. We don't have to be in the other 490 of them when they're not working. But then
they were also, by the way. That's another story.
lately, the market broadened out right in June. Finally, some money rotated to, the small caps and, back to a little bit of energy. And then you also have, there's the IWM. If you look, it's hard to see. I should have made it bigger. Basically,
you should have included more lines.
Right. You can't really see that. So basically, if you look at the chart, there you could see a lower wedge descending trend line, and it broke above it in the first week or so of June. So it kind of woke up the small caps, gave you a move in the IWM to 189. Last week, we kind of retested the 180. So I actually bought some IWM calls for next week if money wants to continue to rotate there this week into the 4th of July week, which sometimes you get some new quarterly flows. So if the IWM, can get some flows and we rebalance a little bit more and money goes there, I have some exposure because I'm away next week for the 4th of July. But basically, I'm always looking to see, what could go next, what's not extended, what's the first start of the move. The start of the move is usually the most explosive because you have the battleground where you have a downtrend meeting and you have shorts who've been making money shorting there, and then all of a sudden you get through it. You get a nice move, which is what happened there, and then sometimes you get a retest, so you could come back to the trade, and it validates the trade by holding it. So, it's all about the price action, and yes, for the first part of this, since March, the market was really led by tech. So being in the Qs while being in the SPYs, while looking at the leaders in the Qs, which was Apple for some of it, Microsoft for a lot of it. Then you had a little catch up by Amazon and Google that are now rebuilding. And then, and then the rally changed a little bit in May. You finally had Tesla, which has been, not one of the best stocks out there, came back. If you look at the chart of Tesla ignited in more like Mayish, right around 169.76, and then peaked out last week, and then kind of got its bearings again last week. So I'm always looking to see where the tight patterns are, where they're ready to explode. How can I get into a big tier, and then how can I just massage it with less risk and trade around the position as it follows the 8 and 21 day, which you could see by that chart of Tesla. It was beautiful. Lots of spots that were action areas where to put on some more shares and then take it off as it goes, and then let it kind of catch up to the moving averages, etc. So
and you're using EMAs there for the moving averages?
Yeah.
8 and 21.
8 and 21, and you can see.
And if price is above both, you're going to tend to lean on the long side, and if it's below both, you're going to lean on the short side. And if it's in between, you're kind of neutral. How does that work?
Yeah, well, sometimes if it's on below it, I just avoid it. I'm not one of the best shorts out there. So when markets or stocks are not acting special to me, sometimes I just kind of have one eye on it, waiting for it to get better again. So there will be prices that I'll short. Like we actually shorted NVIDIA, taboo. I know, like last week when it broke 420 on that day, there was a nice spot. NVIDIA broke the 8-day, and it was like an air pocket. So every now and then I will short when the situation was perfect. But for me, I'd rather sit in more cash and wait for a list of stocks that are acting well to be long and massage. And then when the market's acting a little faulty and it doesn't really make sense, and you want to be more tactical, when the S&P is below the 8-21 day, then I'll have a lot of cash and short some things and etc. So right now, I said the other day, I think the S&P has been above the S&P cash has been above the 50-day since June. I mean, not June, January. And then I think since May, June-ish, it's been above it. So there's been a lot of momentum. That means the market's fast. That means you can buy dips a little quicker. So basically, when the S&P is above the 8-21 day, I'm looking to see what sectors are acting better than the S&P to be in, and then I'm looking to see what stocks are leading that sector to try and get the best trades out there and try and stay with them as long as possible when they're acting special. Like the other day, right? AMD finally hit a low after a move from 130 down to the 107 area, and a lot of us there was a red dog reversal. I don't have the chart up there on I believe Tuesday, so I got long.
Filled that gap too. Filled that gap.
Yeah, I got long, and then actually Tuesday night I'm out to dinner with my buddies, and everyone's texting me, "Did you see the news that the chip exports, or they're going to do something with the Commerce Department? What are we going to do?" I'm like, let's just deal with it the following day, which was yesterday, and what's AMD never broke the low from Tuesday. You were able to add, and then today sell some above 112 with a nice trade, and now I'll try and hold some to see if it starts a new active sequence, etc. But
Scott,
sure.
Hold on. You talked about tech stocks, you talked about the leaders, talked about the possibility of some of those leaders being extended. Then we've experienced some broadening, participation across the broader market. Where are you looking now? I saw you brought along like a riot chart. You said you're looking for things that are coiled. I thought that riot chart looked pretty coiled these past few months.
Someone's asking about their book.
No, the riot. Last week, when Bitcoin hit 31,000 plus, you saw some of the crypto stocks, come to life. And I bought a call spread on Coin just because I don't feel comfortable being Coin just with all the news flow in the battleground. But Coin, ignited really well. I also bought some options on Mara that also ignited. So Riot is like the third one that is playing a little catch up, which is right there. So if you look, you can see the downtrend line 14, 1265, 1211. I have some options on it for next week, just in case we get one of those Bitcoin holidays where, if you go back to Bitcoin, if it gets above that 31,000, it looks like you could see 33 to 37. And if that's the case, look at that nice bear, bull flag there. Look, you can see Bitcoin got above 27, okay, which ignited the move. That's when you want to be in a lot, and then trim it along the way. Then you see the old resistance at 31. That's where it kind of went to, squeezed a little bit, but was too far, too fast. And now it just let the 8-day catch up. So to me, this is like another setup that's kind of, getting ready to prove that it can go again. And if it does, I think that, Riot could take out that 12 and it could be a trade. Listen, it's a low quality, horrible name long-term probably, but as a trade, we're allowed to, make money when patterns present themselves and ignite in a certain way.
I like how you said Bitcoin holiday.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a while where you can't trade stock market and everyone's out there wanting to do stuff and they wind up trading, what's it called? Crypto, which hasn't happened in a while because crypto's been very broken.
Hold on, we have a special guest. We got a special little surprise. Kimmy Sokoloff, big fan of Scott Redler, always has been. She really likes your approach. Spencer, bring in Kimmy. Bring in Kimmy while we still have Scott.
I love Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Hey, how are you, Kimmy?
I love him. I love Scott. I'm like the biggest fan, one of.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm a fan of your work too. You've been doing this a long time. You've been a true
look at
warrior.
Redler turning all red.
Not everyone has
Look at
made
him.
it through the past 10, 20 years.
Look at
Oh,
Redler turning
God.
red. Blushing a little, Scott.
Yeah, but
A little bit.
Scott,
I might have to have my green drink and calm myself down a little bit.
Scott, you've been though a prop trader the whole time. I was just institutional. So I mean, you've been trading really for yourself for a very long time.
Yeah, I've taken like a grassroots version where I was a pure action, price action technical trader. I started in like 1998 at Daytech, which was all charts, higher lows, higher highs, and I've kind of grown up in the business where we were taught don't take a lot of risk, put it together. But then, as I've grown up in the business, I've taken more risk. I went from just a day trading account to day trading and swing, then day trading and swing, and then I have a box account. Then I have an option account, so I have 4 accounts. And then obviously as a 50-year-old, you have to do things outside of trading to accumulate wealth, like a 401k, a 529, blood in the street account, a whole life insurance policy. So I always try and
What's a blood in the streets account?
The blood in the street account is actually, it's an interesting account. Everyone loves the blood in the street account. Usually when you see the market in turmoil, on CNBC and they're ready to throw in the towel and we're off 15, 20% off the highs in the S&P, then I start tearing into my wife's blood in the street account.
Got it. Okay, I like that.
It's her account actually. And I put it to work only like 4 times in the last 5 years. Other than that, it just sits in cash and it waits patiently because it serves a purpose for when you're like, holy cow, I wish I had cash for this. And and you don't, it's there and it's ready to go.
Kimmy, quickly, what is it that you like so much about Redler? He's all right.
Oh, he's great. Do you know my brother subscribes to him? My brother, he doesn't do the live trading because he can't, because my brother has a day job, meaning like he works, but he subscribes to your other thing where, you have your ideas and all that stuff. Like, I don't know what it's called.
Redler All Access?
Yes, he does that. We have different last names, but it's my big brother and he loves you. I introduced him to you years ago and he stays with you.
Where does he live?
In Georgia, Savannah.
Oh, tell him next time he comes to New York, New Jersey, we'll go out for a steak sandwich and a few IPAs over at the Standard.
Yeah, yeah. And then, or if you come to Savannah, bring your family down.
Okay, we could do that.
Your wife and I went to high school together.
Nice. Where are you living now, Kimmy?
I moved to Savannah.
Oh, you're both there. That's good.
I left New York 2 years ago.
These people in Georgia think she's nuts. You bring a New Yorker and stick her in Georgia, forget about it. You kidding?
Yeah, exactly. And the way I talk, they're like, "Oh, you're from New York, aren't you?"
Slow down, lady. Slow down. Scott, where can everybody reach you? Tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, T3live.com is the site, and on there, there's a lot of different, they call, market content providers. So I'm one of them. The Alpha Team is my live trading room where people could see my trades live as I'm trading all day long. They could listen to me like this on the radio. I'm usually have a radio on from like 9:30 to about 11:30, talking about what's triggering, what looks good, what's showing relative strength, what what's leading what, and then like Kimmy just said, I have a note that goes out at 8:30 every morning, which is just kind of like 40 names, and I give a quick take on them, a little bit of an actionable approach with levels. Some will take the note and look at 2 or 3 things that they like, and maybe they ignite and go. I'd say most people that trade for a living prop style like me, they kind of do both. They're a member of the Alpha Team, so they could sit there all day long, because right now there's like 330 people on there talking, and some of their ideas are better than mine. Yeah. And they all specialize in something. So like this guy Jose, he's awesome on bios. So when he says something, everyone listens. And then you have someone who's been all over the airlines. Everyone loves to follow me for tech and Tesla and Apple. They used to call me the Apple trader. And then now it's Tesla. Whenever
I'm sure you've been called worse things, I suppose.
Yeah, I have Elon right here. So when Tesla's above the 820 one day, he's on the wall, and when he's not, he's a little wonky, and he's got to get his act together.
I like it.
All
right, the fun police is here.
Scott, gotta let you go. Always a pleasure, man. We'll have you back on again soon.
Thank you, Scott. Come back soon.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you guys.
All right, Kimmy. I had no idea.
I'm like the hugest fan of Scott Redler. He's my favorite.
She's like
He's
starstruck.
He's a great trader. Listen, I taught myself, right? I mean, no one sat next to me, and I think everyone has to do it. Scott had a mentor. I wish I had a mentor teach me. So blood, sweat, and tears. I had to sit there, learn by myself, lose money, make money, lose money, make money. And then, he had a mentor, bring him in on the prop side and teach him. And then you develop your own style. But the thing is that like I wish I was able to sit next to a big trader and have them teach me a little bit of trading. I mean, I always say, I have there's an idol, a professional guy that I really admire my whole career. I don't want to just meet the guy. I want to sit next to him and watch him trade. You know what I mean? So that would be my dream for like my professional idol.
I know, Kimmy, but now you're fulfilling that dream for others. Yesterday, 3 for 3. I mean, I want to say you're on fire, but this is kind of like how you've been every week. So it's not just.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. I had a couple more trades in there and I didn't take them because, so I'm a little slow sometimes. I'm a little tech antiquated.
I've never heard anybody complain about being 3 for 3 before as much as you. You are ridiculous. Can we talk about today? I love, Bitcoin up nice here in the pre-market, up another 600-700 points here. Mara, some of these are gapping up, here in the pre-market. You're looking at MSTR for an entry here from the long side. Is that do I have that right?
Yeah, well, I recommended coin yesterday. I said it could go to like 74, 75. It popped to 74. It's outside the Bollinger Band. I need to see how it hangs on. MSTR is flagging. It looks great, right? But the problem is it keeps getting stuck at like 335 to 337.
It looks like Bitcoin. It looks like
what?
Bitcoin. It looks like Bitcoin.
Yeah. And so I have to see if it could push, right? So like, sometimes names at Bollinger Bands pull in. That doesn't mean it's done or it's just not ready to push through, or sometimes it just fails. So you just have to, watch. It's just the name of the game. You have to sit there and wait patiently and see how it is. Markets up. We have, obviously the stress tests on the banks. We've traded the banks earlier in the week. Now I have to see how they act if they hold this gap up and maybe they push a little further, like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. So we'll have see. Oh,
shout out Jason Wolcott.
God damn.
17. Nice.
Oh.
Since joining Kimmy's room, that's that.
Thanks, Jason.
Is that good? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's all Jason. It has nothing to do with Kimmy.
Right, guys. If
Jason, you guys got to pull. You got to pull the trigger. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say pull the trigger, but whatever. You guys got to hit the button.
If you want to be like Jason, I can't promise he'll go 16 for 17 and join Kimmy's room. The link is pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube. It is pinned. It is at the top of the description on YouTube. It's also on the screen. If you're too lazy to click, just hold your phone up, scan the QR code. That'll get you to a page.
Thanks, Mary, too. That was sweet of Mary. All right,
she's
guys.
there every single day. Have a good one, Kimmy.
Have a good one.
The good work, Kimmy. Jeez
Bye.
Louise.
Dear Lord.
She is on fire.
I should get into Kimmy's room. Frankly, I'm too busy hanging out with you guys. But
I'm getting the trades. Are you kidding me? I'm in. It's right in this. It's right in the chat.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I got to actually be there to watch her. That's what I should do after this show is go over to Kimmy's room. Okay, 9:24 here. Markets are going to open in a couple of minutes. We did not finish going over the movers yet. There's a couple more I wanted to hit, and then we'll do hot corner after. I know you don't care about this one, JC, but I want to highlight Blackberry this morning.
Why wouldn't I care about Blackberry? Tell me why I don't care. I
feel like this is like it's a smaller company now. I don't know what the market cap is, but I think it's
$3 billion.
Okay, $3 billion.
Tell me again why? Why? Because I don't like Canadian companies.
That's actually bigger than I would have guessed. Honestly, I would have guessed like $1.5 billion. But it's like a former meme stock, right? A couple years ago when that whole thing was going on.
It was a former FANG stock too.
Sure.
It was FANG before FANG.
What, like 15 years ago?
When you were in diapers, Spencer, there used to be these things called the Four Horsemen, and it was Research in Motion, RIM, which is now Blackberry. I think it was Amazon, Google, and Apple, maybe, and those were the Four Horsemen. So big. Talk about full cycle. It was a FANG stock, and then it was a meme stock. Like it's come full, just from the best to the worst.
3 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess. Anyway, they also reported earnings here, and they were good. Let's see, the EPS and sales both came in above estimates. Look at them, cybersecurity revenue. Okay, nice beat on that. Internet of Things, is that still a thing? IoT? I haven't heard that name, that thing mentioned in a while. Anyway, stock is up nice this morning. And we don't talk about Blackberry ever on the show because, why would we? But I wanted to highlight that real fast. And then Strazza specifically asked that we mention cruise stocks, which we've mentioned a couple of times now in the last few weeks. Fonz, why don't you bring up those charts here? I don't know if we have RCL, CCL, or NCLH, or if it matters or not. There he is. Hey, Steve.
Can you imagine the nerve of these idiots to tell you that only 7 stocks are going up? Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, seriously, you're dumb. Stop.
Yeah, cruise stocks. Why are they going up so much? Are people going on cruises? JC, you booking a lot of cruises over there?
You couldn't pay me to go on a cruise. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh, you could pay me.
They're breaking out. They're making
pay me. I'll go.
Yeah.
I definitely you could not be on a boat with thousands of people for like a week. No.
Yeah.
No.
So listen, they're all breaking out. People are talking about them. There's only one stock to buy in this group. If you have to own a cruise stock, throw up the relative trends. Royal Caribbean is just in a league of its own. Whether it's RCL, CCL, RCL relative to cruise. Look at this.
Wow.
Isn't the food in Royal Caribbean less bad?
I thought Norwegian was the nice one, or is that the river cruises?
I've only ever been on Royal Caribbean, so I can't speak to the other boats. But generally speaking, Carnival is seen as like the lower tier, right? Or sorry, maybe the more affordable tier.
Yeah.
RCL.
Viking is the rivers.
Carnival's the biggest party, isn't it? Like the biggest party.
Yeah, more affordable, more of a party boat. RCL is more for families, right? Norwegian, I think, is maybe a little bit more because Norwegian does like a lot of like Alaskan cruises, so maybe that's a little more older clientele. But
I don't understand. You guys why can't you just like pick a place and go there? Like, why do you have to go to all these places on somebody else's boat?
Dude,
have you guys ever heard of Lindblad Expeditions?
You know what? You put this in Slack the other day. I have never heard of this stock. What is this?
Okay. Ticker symbol LIND. We'll get a chart up. They do like National Geographic adventures. So you can like go on cruises and do these different things with them. It's like sponsored by National Geographic, but it's very different. I was making a cruise index, and these guys came up because they offer cruises. They're very different from the Carnivals and Royal Caribbeans. That's why the chart looks so different. But if you click the link I put in the chat, like it talks all about. I've never heard of it. How about you, JC?
It's a $500 million stock. You know, I'm an adult. I buy real companies.
The guys were telling me this one shouldn't be involved in shouldn't have been included in the cruise index.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem including smaller stocks in an index like we created. What were we doing the other day? We're building the golf index, and there was some small caps in there. I don't have a problem with it being in the index. It's information. I don't have a problem with it.
I think you really got to look at the income statement. If you want to call something an AI stock or a cruise stock,
I'm not going to look at the income statement. I wouldn't even know where to go find an income statement.
I know you wouldn't, and I do it for you. And that's what we do for our custom indexes. Like we were looking for these golf companies to include in the custom golf index. One of them was really just a firearms company. Their description said that they made firearms and then shafts for golf clubs. I went to the income statement, $150 million in revenue from firearms, less than $1 million from golf clubs. It's not a golf company. Out of the index.
Lindsay was a hater on our golf index yesterday.
It's crazy.
I thought I'm like Howard, you're gonna love this one, and he's like, I don't want to look at that. Totally, just like I was like very excited to show him. I almost kind of felt bad that I stole your thunder because I know you wanted to show Lindsay the chart, and I showed it to him anyway, and he was just like appalled by it.
I'm still gonna show it to him because I want to experience that as well.
I didn't see that coming. I thought he'd be a little more excited about it. Riley was excited about it. Lindsay was not.
Golf looks good, which is Titleist, Acushnet. That one looks good, a lot better than like Callaway, Top Golf.
How's Eli Lilly?
Oh
wow! Look at Eli. Callaway
and Top
Oh,
Golf.
it used to be the Eli.
Yeah. I confused myself there.
ELY.
ELY,
Yeah.
right.
It was the old ticker.
Right. Okay.
Now it's MODG. No idea what that means.
Yeah, look at this.
Okay. Whatever.
So it's Acushnet.
Acushnet.
All right. That's a pretty stupid name.
Do you see the chat? They know about this Lindblad.
What is he laughing at? What is Spencer laughing at?
I was trying to say Acushnet.
Yeah, why? It's a new word to me. I don't know. Stupid
did you guys
name.
see
It's a stupid name. Come on.
I think we need to start marking down like some of the stupid things so we can make some of those videos where like you're telling us you don't
Yeah.
stocks. We're picking on Spencer for his ugly
I'm
charts.
keeping track. Don't worry.
Okay. As long as somebody
Yo,
is.
can I just tell you, Spencer has the ugliest chart I've ever seen. Look at slide 1 there. This is
You're not gonna upset me.
This is the AccuSnet. This is the
Say it again.
This is title.
What is
this
it?
is really Titleist. Do I have that right?
That's right. You got it.
This is the golf. This is a great chart, man. Again, if you think only 7 stocks are going up, you are dumb.
Dude, you know what stock we're thinking about adding to the golf index?
I do not know.
Garmin.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we talked about this already.
about
You
that.
should.
And I'm looking into the golf carts thing. I don't think there's
Anybody know out there? Is there any publicly traded companies that make golf carts?
There are, but I don't think they're golf carts for golf courses.
Where else would you use a golf cart?
They make them street legal down here. Me and Sean were talking about it yesterday. Like people drive golf carts out on the street here. They're like street legal golf carts.
Florida's weird.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, last thing on the cruise chart stocks. Very simple explanation, right? Oil's going down. Price of oil goes down.
Oh,
Is
Right.
it?
I love Nikki's comment in the
It's not
chat.
going down. Ah,
What?
If you
Yes, it
like
is.
golf clubs, go to the Salvation Army or go to Goodwill, go to tag sales and yard sales. You'll find the cool stuff. People are just giving away awesome old golf clubs all the time, like for nothing.
Spencer, oil stopped going down last year. FYI, it's flat. Flat.
I'm looking at a steady. I'm looking at the futures. It's steady decline. You know.
It's flat.
Hey.
Stopped going down last year.
All right. Futures say otherwise. All right. Hot corner.
Do
Oxy.
it.
Uncle
Do
Warren.
it. Uncle Warren.
Please?
And then we'll get Sean on here.
That'd be nice.
So hot right now.
Uncle Warren is back, and I saw that this morning. We knew. Yesterday, I was like, we saw that stick a couple days ago. I have a funny feeling Uncle Warren's going to be filing any day now. Sure enough, kablam! First thing in the morning, done.
It was holding the range lows there, right at the what we like to call the Buffett zone. Throw up the Buffett zone. So it's only a matter of time until we got another filing. It's been about a month since the last one, JC. It's the first one in June.
Maybe he's getting a little more patient. How much did he buy?
Not much. 120 million.
Oh, was that all?
It's not much for him. Throw up the table and we can compare it to past purchases. Throw up Berkshire's. Yeah. So most recent purchase 120. His last one just in late May was 270 and then 200, a week before that.
So this is light, generally speaking, for his purchases. It's like maybe he's not done. Maybe he's gonna. There's another filing coming tomorrow, right? What do you think?
I don't know. I think we have to monitor it because I think he's getting close to being done at least.
How long do they have to file the Form 4 after the purchase?
2 days, and they waited the full 2 days.
It's only 2 days? Got it. So if he was buying some a couple of days ago, he bought more yesterday. Let's say he's buying more today, you're going to get more filings.
So he was a buyer all week, June 26th, 27th, 28th. If you throw up, yeah. So he was buying every day this week.
I mean, when Uncle Warren's buying the stock that you're selling puts against, not terrible. Not terrible.
Not terrible at all. So I bought, I'm in some Oxy calls and puts now since yesterday. So me and Warren out here on the same day buying Oxy against, this support zone. If you show the when and where Berkshire's purchased, yeah. We really should move this line down a bit at this point, right? Because his average purchase, what do you think his cost basis is?
57.5, 58?
Close, 55, 55.30.
That low?
Only because he bought in massive size right off the bat. If you go back to the when and where chart. So right off the bat, last March, he bought 3 billion, 5 billion almost, the first couple purchases. That's why. See the first yellow circle? That was 3 billion, by far the largest buy. So that brought his cost basis down, but $55 a share, not bad. I would probably, let's redraw this line somewhere around like 57.50. closer to where he's been buying, you know what we'll do? We'll remove the first purchase and then average the cost of all.
To be fair,
the
it's a
remaining
Buffett. It's a Buffett zone. It's not a Buffett line in the sand. It's a zone.
right.
It's like a range. It's got some give, like a mattress, right? You jump on the mattress. It's got some give. It's a zone. It's a zone.
So if listen, long story short, if this level holds, you know, Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, one of the largest financial institutions in the world, are literally the support in this stock. Continue to put a floor in it over and over and over again. If I'm going to be in energy, which I am, this is my vehicle for above 57.50. I think we're at least going back to the range highs. And if we get through there, 88, those 2018 highs.
What about this $20 million purchase of Moon Lake Immunotherapeutics? That's a long word.
That sounds like a micro cap if I've ever heard one.
It sounds like a micro cap if I've ever heard one too, but it's 100. It is
Moonshot Therapeutics.
Oh no, wait a minute. It's only 20,000.
2.7 billion.
Hold on.
2.7 billion.
Do I have these commas and decimal points right? Is it a $20 million purchase?
Yeah. It's $2 billion, $3 billion stock.
Yeah, it's not nothing. It doesn't. I mean, it trades. It trades. $2.2 billion company. It's a biotech stock out of Switzerland. So if you're interested in increasing your exposure to Swiss biotech stocks, do I have that right? Is that?
I'm looking into it right now. I'm pulling up the filing right now.
$20 million purchase?
I get it that we're obviously missing a number there, so I'm checking for you.
Moonlake also, if this helps at all, they just announced a $400 million public, I guess, secondary offering. I guess that's what that is. So,
this guy bought in size in March too.
It's one guy. It's an LLC, but it's one guy.
Ken Behua. That's, I believe, a person's name, not an LLC. The reporting person.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Listen again. If I went and looked
and
looked up everybody's background and what their net worth is for every single filing and what company they work for, I would have no other time to do anything else all day.
Chen Bahua, you don't know this guy?
Yeah, right. You're so obnoxious when you ask about these things. I got to tell you.
I'm curious. I'm like, well, $20 million. Like, that's a lot of money to me. But if this guy has 50 billion, then $20 million is nothing, right? So I'm kind of curious when I see these transactions. Like, I know Uncle Warren. I know him. You know, I know Uncle Carl. I know Nelson Peltz. Like, I know these guys. Like, you know, Tommy Tuberville. I know him. Like, you know, there are people who are regularly showing up. These are classic names. But when this fella coming in here just dropping $20 million in heat on this little biotech company, this thing's been absolutely ripping, man. Wow. Moonlake Therapeutics.
They just announced a positive phase 2 news yesterday.
He's a 10% owner. He just bought 450,000 shares for $45. This guy. Not going to butcher his name again. Chen.
Butcher the name.
Okay. All this information is available in the hot corner.
Yes, 20 million, JC, confirmed.
20 million, it's a lot.
There you go.
If you want to get the hot corner for free every day, shoot me an email right now. Email is up on the screen. Just put a hot corner in the subject, and we will get you on the list for the hot corner email. Goes out every single day that the market's open. And
this CNTL looks like it's going, huh? Just been watching this one so closely. I know Joe Gallagher is too. Now, I rethought about jumping it. I think you could jump it at 30, JC, ZNTL.
Who's Joe Gallagher?
Really
that's the guy from
the Yankees.
That's the guy from Oasis.
That's Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher.
I was close. All right.
That's the guy from Oasis.
All right. let's get Sean on here. Oh man.
Come on, Johnny.
Bring some normalcy to the show for once. Oh, where's my background? That's weird.
Guys, my computer is literally
Gentlemen, what's
Johnny
happening?
baby.
What's happening?
Well, what's happening is that yesterday we were spending so much time deliberating whether we liked Oxy better or whether we liked DraftKings better, and honestly, we should have just shut up and bought them both.
So I've been listening to you guys talk about Uncle Warren this morning, and so do I have my facts correct? You guys learned about his latest purchase after we got into after you got into the puts yesterday?
We kind of assumed.
Right.
We kind of assumed.
Yeah, but no, the filing hadn't even hit the wire by the time
We kind of, we had a hunch.
It's good to
Yeah, we've seen it before. If you want to, I don't know if you've seen the chart, Sean.
In fact, I would have been surprised if we didn't see a filing, to be honest. Right.
So,
he's been pretty.
What's the latest? What's the latest tally? I heard Strazza allude to it early this morning. Between Uncle Warren and JC and Strazza and me, we are now owners of what? 150 million of Oxy. Where are we at?
Listen, between the four of us, we bought over $120 million worth of stock yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad to have a great partner in Warren Buffett.
Listen, Uncle Warren and the three of us, like moving markets, moving markets.
Joe asks a good question, though, right? How much longer can Buffett keep supporting Oxy? He's only allowed to purchase 30% of the company.
50.
50. He's allowed for 50, and he's actually at about 34.
Well, the next move is just to buy the whole thing, right?
No, I don't think he wants to do that.
No, he expressly said he's not buying the whole thing.
Right.
He actually loves the management team at Oxy and wants them to keep running.
Remember, him and Uncle Carl are different. Uncle Carl will be like, these guys are idiots. We're firing everybody. We're bringing a new crew. And Uncle Warren's more like, I kind of like these guys.
Carl's back in, right? So Carl got out when Warren got in early last year. Carl was, Warren was his exit liquidity.
And now he's back.
Remember that? He had a huge stake. Now he's got warrants.
Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Most recent 13F.
You know that Uncle Carl and Warren are in cahoots.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we said it last year, remember? There's no way he was selling the same exact week Warren Buffett was buying. Come on. Somebody was talking about that, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's how it
knows something.
They got each other. They text each other. They're old pals. No?
Well, we talked about it, right? Icon goes in and tries to impact and affect change at a company. And then when he does, he's usually good. Like he did it with Apple, right? Made him pay a dividend, took his money and left. Probably wish he stuck around. But Buffett doesn't do that. He takes passive stakes. So Icon was in there, active, did what he wanted to do, got out. And then it was time for Buffett to come in once everything was running smoothly because Carl was in there. And then he takes the passive stake. I think it's a beautiful thing. They work well together, it seems.
Listen, we've been talking a lot about Oxy and DraftKings, and we can get into that if you want because Sean is here. Sean, did you get into the HSBC there with me?
I am in HSBC. Yes, I am.
Because these banks apparently are not stressed after all, after they were tested for stress.
I thought there was a banking crisis.
I was promised a banking crisis, maybe even a recession if we're lucky. As it turns out, it's actually the greatest start for the stock market in history. Oh,
well, I joke, but actually a big reason why we got into HSBC is because it was one of those names that was not part of the banking crisis. It was one of those names that was attracting deposit flight from all these other banks that people are scared of. So I'm joking. HSBC is one of the strong ones, and that's why we got into it. And so far, it gave us a little scare. We got in, and we had a couple scary days last week, but it has recovered nicely, and I'm bullish long term, obviously.
Yeah. What are we in? We in the Januaries?
We are in January 40 calls.
January 40. That's right. We got them real cheap, I remember.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I got a good chart. Are you guys looking at these crypto miners?
Hard not to. I own
They keep it keeps popping up at the top of my gainers list of all my open positions. So yeah, I see Mara still running.
Yeah.
All right. So, JC, we talked about this yesterday, whether it's Mara, Bitfarms, I think Hut Mining, right? Looks great also. I'm overlaying Mara with Bitcoin now. Often the best assets in the space, right? And at this moment that for crypto, it's these Bitcoin miners will lead to the upside. We were talking about this yesterday, right? So do you think that the best miners, the ones I just named, kind of tip the hat to maybe a bull flag resolution from Bitcoin today?
Ooh.
Possibly. I really like how Redditor was talking about a Bitcoin holiday, you know, we're in Mara, obviously. Strazza's in the riot. You know, we have exposure to cryptocurrencies, nevertheless, in the equities market as well as in the crypto market. But you know, over the next few days, you know, we might not get the actual action of what's going on in the stocks themselves, but we're going to see it in the cryptocurrencies. You know, because it's 2023, we don't have to just close markets for no reason. So cryptocurrencies stay open. You know.
All right, look at chart 2 here.
This is Mara versus Riot. Interesting base there.
I don't know. Dude, my computer's really on the fritz.
It's coming. Throw it up there, Spencer.
I'm not able to paste things in the slides. There we go. So this is what I'm talking about. Bitfarms looks like this. Hut Mining looks like this. Bitfarms just filed a mixed shelf last night, so they're like raising capital. I think like Scott kind of alluded to what kind of companies these are, but they're working right now.
Great chart, Strazza. It's a great chart.
Right. So the leaders are leading in crypto right now. I think Bitcoin follows and resolves higher from this little bull flag here.
And where's the next stop in Bitcoin, you think?
Whew. Can I say the all-time highs? Because I really don't think
spicy take right there.
You think we just go straight to 60? You don't think we pause in the mid 40s, 46, 47? I think it takes a break at 47, 48.
Of course we pause somewhere. Sure, you have those. Yeah, so you're talking about the highs from end of the first quarter 2022?
Yeah.
Probably it's going to pause and rest somewhere, but I don't think you want to overthink it. I think you want to reassess things once we get back into the 60s. High 60s.
By the way, let's talk about this real quick. In a world where Bitcoin goes back up toward the all-time highs, do you think we're going to get back to the crazy speculative juices that we saw in the Bitcoin space on the last cycle? Or did this bear market that we've been in wash out a lot of the shitcoin traders?
100%. I think it's going to take a while to get that, you know, the laser. Remember, they were putting lasers in their eyes, Sean. There were lasers using Photoshop in their eyes. Like, if that wasn't a tell that things were a little frothy, you know? So like,
who wants lasers in their eyes?
So what's it going to take to get the crazies back? Is it Bitcoin 100,000?
100, and even then, I think the recency bias. Humans are so mentally weak when it comes to their recency bias. It's really, really hard for them to overcome it. They put themselves out there, they photoshopped lasers in their eyes, and were embarrassed in front of the whole world, their families. Everybody thinks they're a bunch of idiots. So now that if we're in a scenario where they're making new all-time highs again, you think they're going to go right back to telling everybody how great Bitcoin is and putting lasers in their eyes on Photoshop? I think it's going to be a little bit harder for them to do that. I think it's going to take a long time. I think, to your point, Sean, I think it washed out a lot of weak hands.
Yeah,
I think you'll get some similar effect, right? We don't want to make the bet that these altcoins aren't going to eventually start rallying. I was talking to Louis about it last night, guys. He made a good point. He said the alts always start late. Started late last time too. So, you know, maybe they do come alive. I think people are going to be a lot more selective.
Well, that makes sense, right? We've learned that lesson from the stock market. When you have a bull market that's been going on a long time, when you get towards the end, it's always the small caps and the penny stocks that all the, you know, rookie speculators get involved in. So Bitcoin, you know, the whole crypto space is similar in that regard.
I don't know if I believe that, because in the last cycle, the last ones that were working were the mega cap stocks, were the last ones to fall. The smaller cap and more speculative ones had already been falling in 2021 for a long time. So I don't necessarily know that towards the end it's the little ones. I don't agree with that. Sorry, Sean.
Guys,
love you. I don't agree with that.
Guys, JC loves it when I talk about this. Why don't you throw up slide 6?
Throw up slide 6.
What's going on here, fellas? What are we doing here?
Who's we?
The United States.
The United States. I don't know, man. I can't worry about these guys, man. I got to worry about my own portfolio. I got to worry about my family. I can't worry about this Gensler guy. And then you got the Powell guy and the Biden and the Trump. It's too much. It's too much. I got to worry about myself. Is that selfish? Is that selfish, you think?
Oh, but this is the regulatory body that is tasked with, you know, protecting U.S. investors and ensuring efficient and fair markets with lots and lots of opportunities for people. I don't know what we're doing here.
Again,
No,
I
one
don't know where this
We'll need
we.
crypto.
What is this?
The next
we
minute
thing?
proving a leveraged crypto ETF. It doesn't really add up to me.
Follow the money, Strazza. There's
This
a
is
lot of
dumb.
money to be
This
made.
This is dumb. I've categorized a lot of things as dumb this episode. This is one of them.
Are we ready for recess? I got
No, I want to talk about what's happening at 2:00 today. We're doing a little collabo, a little Spencer Israel, Patrick Dunawilla chart report collabo. I like it.
Yeah, I also want to talk about that. I just made a QR code that I'm going to bring up on the screen right now. This is an event we're doing. This is not going to air. Oh, it's on the top left. See that? It's on the top left of the screen there. I didn't know that was going to happen. This is not going to air publicly, like to everyone, right, on our YouTube channel, right? This is going to be an exclusive event. The link to this event with Patrick and I, again, 2:00 Eastern time. The link is pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube. It's also, again, see that QR code on the top left-hand corner? If you scan that code, that'll take you to the page, the sign-up page for this event. Pat has been working in the background, not just Pat, there's been working low-key in the background for the past several months on this awesome new product and these amazing new scans. That the whole point of this is just providing trade ideas, right? That's the whole point. Pat's been doing the chart report every day for 5 years now, and it's awesome. He's built himself a great little community, and now he's taking that to the next level with what we're calling chart report private access. He's going to take some time today and this event totally free. He's just going to outline all these scans that we've built, how to use them, how to find ideas, how they work, that sort of thing, and it's going to be sweet. I'll be there. He'll be there. You'll be there. It'll be awesome.
I really like the idea flow. I mean, I really, really like the idea flow. We're constantly talking about new ideas. We're constantly looking for ways to find new ideas, and this is the hottest new way. Spencer, is it going to be a live event or is it going to be a webinar?
Neither. It's an event.
It's gonna be
an exclusive event.
Exclusive event. How about that? I'll share the page with us. But again, the link to this is pinned to the. Yes, Sam. It's going to be.
I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be heckling you guys. I'm going to be that guy.
Me too.
It's going to be as.
We're just going to be breaking balls the whole time.
How many years we've
get
been
to the point, Spencer? Get to the point.
We've been working with this data for more than 2 years now, maybe 3. So I'm really excited that we're, putting out a product and then that Pat's doing something with it because it's really sweet data.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really is good.
Yep. So again, the way to register for this live special event, the link is in the chat. The link is in the QR code on the screen there. And also now I just put it on the screen for real. It's just signup.thechartreport.com/webinar.
Be in there with us. We're going to be heckling them. Heckle them with us. Just breaking balls the whole time.
Yeah, you can heckle or just listen. You know what I mean?
No fun.
But so 2:00 Eastern time today. There's the link on the screen. Again, Pat and myself ripping through scans.
Hey, Spencer. Holy Micron. What's going on here? Woo-wee.
Not the conference call because that's over. So
yeah, that thing just
blew up,
fell apart.
It's down 4%. This thing's like doubled. Like, let it dance, man.
God.
Let it dance.
Here we go.
Let it dance. Can we do a little recess?
We can. Yeah, I wanted to see about Micron if there's any headlines, but I don't think there was.
No, I don't see anything.
No, I don't see anything either. Okay, fine. You want to do some
recess? I got to go to one.
Ooh.
All right, fine. Does that mean you didn't have one yesterday? I don't know.
It means run the bumper, Spencer.
Guess who's taking a pickleball lesson?
Oh man, it's over. The trend is over. It's done.
I was talking to Peter yesterday, and we're talking about the club, and he's like, "Oh, you guys got pickleball courts?" I'm like, "Actually, we do. They built new ones." He's like, "Why don't you play?" I was like, "I don't know the rules.
There's like 2 rules.
Well, this isn't Nam. There are rules, and I just don't know them. So Peter's like, well, why don't you take a private lesson? I was like, why didn't I think of that? So I'm taking a private lesson next week, pickleball. Just wanted to share that with you. Is that the
It's
top?
awesome,
Is that
man.
the top of pickleball?
Did
Man,
you guys
I
see
can only
all that?
imagine. JC is the Charles Barkley of tennis and pickleball. That's all I can imagine.
I'm playing tennis today. I'm okay. I'm pretty good.
Okay, hold on. You got to throw this.
Strazza, I saw. I know what you're gonna say. I saw
You
it
got to
too.
throw this up.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Because that's JC.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
this
yeah.
data.
Yeah,
Who's me?
yeah, right.
So
Not yet. He's not, but he's about to
What
be.
am I?
I'm not saying he's going to get hurt. There are all these charts about how it's all just kind of wealthy white people playing, and that you're all in terrible shape. So pickleball injuries may cost Americans up to $400 million this year. A new report from UBS says that in addition to competing with kids and tennis players for valuable public park players, picklers are contributing to higher healthcare utilization rates. So pickleball trend is super bullish healthcare.
Hold on, can we pause
If
on?
I get hurt playing pickleball, I'm gonna be pissed, man.
Can we pause on the
Yeah.
phrase picklers? Is that what we're
Yeah,
calling
picklers.
them? Picklers?
Yeah. You want to go
UBS.
pickle around? You know,
This is so good.
want to do some?
I mean, it makes logical sense. A lot of these people are in their 50s and 60s or 70s, right? Because it's a great game to play, without much movement.
You better wear your knee braces, JC.
I don't have knee braces. I don't have any knee issues. I'm good.
Yeah, sure.
I got like elbow
Wear
and
your-
wrist issues.
Wear your wrist guard.
I'm a little bit I'm playing tennis today. I'm gonna test my wrist. See how I'm doing. See if I'm back. The kid is back.
And you're not going to be able to type one day.
In all seriousness,
suck.
it's a really fun game. Hey,
I
JC,
got you.
you're gonna love it. It's awesome.
All right.
I've never
I
played.
guess we'll see. I might hate
would
it.
like
I don't
to.
think I'm gonna hate it, but we'll see.
All right.
Just
I
stay
can't
out of the
wait for you
kitchen.
to come on and tell us about your experience.
I will. I'll tell
I'm
you. I'll
excited
tell
for
you.
Hey, I got two channel check things to talk about here real quick.
Kava? Better be
Yes,
Kava. The
I'm
people
going to
have been waiting.
I'm going to Kava today for lunch with an All-Star Option subscriber. So I'm very excited about that.
All right.
That's going to be fun.
Report back.
I love me some good falafel, so I'm excited about that. Also, inspired by Brett Conrad's visit to the morning show a couple days ago, I am planning on visiting a Lululemon store to get myself some travel pants. What do you guys think? Between Lululemon or Viore, what do you think?
Bird dogs. So,
Bird
Sean,
dogs.
I was going to order the Vuori, and the only reason I didn't is because I don't know what my size is. So if I order it and it's the wrong size, there's no stores near me. That wouldn't be good. So I went with another pair of bird dogs. I ordered it late last night, paid for the overnight shipping. Bird dogs. Large.
I'm with you. I feel weird about buying pants that I can't try on ahead of time.
Yeah.
Is Bird Dog available? Do they have stores?
Yeah. No, but it's $10 for 2-day shipping.
Well, Strazza, by my math, we have 4 days until we're hopping on
get to it.
planes.
You better get to it.
I would go to Lulu though. People love those pants. You go, you get to try them on. I had a great time shopping this weekend.
Who has a great time
Travel is
shopping?
important. I had a great time shopping because
I
we
hate
don't shop. We don't
I
have
hate
outlet stores. So
shopping.
like, we just went. We hit it hard, like 4 or 5 hours. Got everything. I don't need to shop again for like 2 years.
Every
I
item,
like the sound of that.
every item
Right.
of clothing I own was like I resisted getting it because I just hate buying new clothes.
I'm with you. Sean, next time we see you, we'll be talking to you from Asia. Very excited for that.
That's correct.
Steve as well will be there, of course.
So you'll see me tomorrow, Spencer.
But we'll see you tomorrow. My recess real fast is shout out Domingo Germán, 24th perfect game in Major League history. Fourth for the Yankees, first since 1999. Of course, I didn't watch it. The game ended after midnight, but
And that's not a basketball player. That's definitely not a basketball player.
that's a baseball player. Perfect games are incredibly rare. There hasn't
Not
been
even
one in
basketball
11 years.
Not even.
Hasn't been one in 11 years. Shout out, go Yanks. Domingo Germán, perfect game. Very exciting stuff. All right, that is our show for the day. I will see you all at 2 o'clock Eastern time for our special exclusive event, webinar, seminar with Patrick
The
Donovan
hoedown.
and I.
Be sure to tune in to Chart Request Live at 1 o'clock today, everybody. We have a blast on there.
We have gotten a handful of emails. If you want the guys to talk about your ticker on CRL, email us questions at stockmarketmedia.com. Thanks to our guests today, Scott Redler, Kimmy Sokoloff, Sean McLaughlin. Thank you in the chat. Smash the like, go make some money, and we'll see you guys later.
Adios.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off.